The first topic that we have is better overall score. And you guys got 3 crazy topics too. But the first one is better overall score, Kevin Durant or Kobe Bryant. Pirate, you will kick things off and your time will start whenever you want to.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty clear that KD was a much better scorer in every objective way. KD averaged more points on not just much better absolute efficiency, but to be clear, much better relative efficiency as well from every single spot on the floor, both in the regular season and the playoffs. And that relative efficiency is where I want to start, just to sort out any era tax confusion. Anyone who thinks that the era explains the difference. So to be clear, KD's relative efficiency is vastly better than Kobe's, and not by a little bit, it's by a ton. To be clear, KD's league-adjusted EFG and his true shooting are both over 9 points higher than Kobe. That is a huge difference. So look at it this way. KD's efficiency is closer to Shaq's than it is to Kobe. Or you can look at it this way. Kobe's best year of relative efficiency was 107 adjusted true shooting. KD has 14 years higher than Kobe's best year. And most of those years, it is significantly higher. So it's most certainly not just a difference in the era. KD was massively more efficient than not just Kobe, but virtually everyone who's ever played. KD has the 11th highest true shooting percentage in NBA history, while Kobe doesn't even crack the top 250 in true shooting. So this is really apples and oranges. KD is 6th all-time in points per game, and he's also 11th all-time in true shooting. Kobe averaged less points without even cracking the top 250 in efficiency. Kobe missed more shots than anybody in NBA history. Well, KD is not even in the top 30.
Go ahead, Casual, round 1. Let's do it.
I do agree with Pirate. Durant was a more efficient player, but to me, Kobe Bryant is the better all-time scorer because to me, his scoring was more impressive. He wasn't the biggest, fastest, stronger, tallest guy on the court like Durant. Durant's scoring came easier to him because he was 7 feet tall. And yet, Kobe Bryant, in the slowest decade in NBA history, and with some terrible spacing, unlike Durant, put up some scoring numbers in his career that you look up and you're like, only Wilt did better? Don't let Durant's career points per game or scoring titles fool you. The sheer amount of points Kobe scored in his career. When we're talking about scoring, it's more about points, not efficiency, points. The sheer amount of points he scored in his career would make this Pirate walk the plank. Kobe's peak scoring season, 35 points per game in 2006. That's 9th all-time, 3rd highest since the merger. Kevin Durant's highest single-season points per game, got my list here, he's all the way down at 33. Damn. Kobe, by the way, in that shooting splits, 45, 35, 85. Relative to era, relative that he didn't have teammates, that's pretty damn good. Also, in the 9th slowest era in NBA since 98. Kobe scored 81 in a basketball game. I'm going to say it again so you can process it. 81 in a basketball game. That's the most points in a single game in history that we have on recorded video. Kevin Durant's career high is 50, 55. You're trying to tell me a guy's a better scorer when I've scored 26 more points than you in a single game. Kobe Bryant is 122 40-point games. That's 3rd all time. Kevin Durant is at 9.
Back to you, Pirate. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, this is not rhythmic gymnastics, so there are no style points. It's do you get the ball in the bucket or not? And Kobe, to get those 35 points, he took 27 shots a game. KD has never taken more than 21 shots a game. He's only got 3 seasons he ever took 20 shots a game. So this is really no slight against Kobe. He's one of the greatest ever, but defense plays a huge part into Kobe's greatness. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about only scoring. So let's look at the fact that KD shot a much higher clip from every single spot on the floor. Free throws. KD is 15th all-time in free throw percentage. He's over 88%. Kobe's 4% lower. Three-point shot. KD shot more three-pointers and he shot them at 39%. Kobe shot at less than 33%. KD's simply a better pure shooter. Now let's look at the paint. 3 feet and in, Kobe shot 64%, and that's pretty good. But here's the insane part. KD has shot 74% at the basket for his entire career. 74%. That's a full 10% better than Kobe. He's better at the line. He's better from deep. He's better at the basket, and he's better everywhere in between. From 3 to 10 feet, he's 4% better. From 10 to 16 feet, he's 5% better. From 16 feet to 3-point, he's 5% better. So he's literally much more efficient from everywhere on the floor. And a reminder, he's more efficient relative to era as well. Kobe was a great athlete. He's extremely skilled, but KD's just an absolute unicorn. He's a scoring machine. He's 6'11", with a 7'5" wingspan, doing guard things, while also being one of the best shooters ever. It's insane.
I think when you talk about Kobe Bryant's career numbers as far as efficiency and career points per game, you're being disingenuous, because when you understand Kobe Bean Bryant came in the NBA straight out of geometry class and went to the bench behind Shaq, that affected his field goal percentage. What also affected his field goal percentage was he was 40 years old with a popped Achilles and shot chucking when he should have retired. That hurt his career numbers, because when you look at peaks in relative, mid-range, it's still about the same. Mid-range about the same. At the basket, it's about the same. Three, I'll give you that. But Kobe is clearly more skilled. You're not taking into account that Kobe is shooting tougher shots because he is 6'6". Kevin Durant, 7 foot tall. Pirate, how many 60-point games has Kevin Durant scored in his career? If you're a better scorer than me, you've scored 60 before in your career. Got my notes. None. KD has scored 0 60-point games in his career. Kobe Bryant is the most 60-point games in league history after the merger. And to me, if you're the better scorer than me, then let's look at the playoffs. Kobe Bryant has won, when it mattered the most, 2 championships as the clear number 2 scorer, 1 as a 1B, and 2 as the clear number 1 best scorer on his team. Pirate, Durant's had great finals. But how many championships can Kevin Durant come up here and say, I was the clear best scorer on my team. My scoring gravity took all the attention, and I still got 30. I still got the trophy, and you couldn't do anything about it. He's got 0. Kobe Bryant has 2 championships with a teammate not over 20 points a game.
Round 3.
I mean, once more, he's far more efficient relative to era, people. Relative to era. When you adjust for era, he's still far more efficient, between 5 to 10% from everywhere on the floor. So again, he averaged more while being much more efficient from everywhere on the floor. You want to talk about playoffs? Let's look at playoffs and scoring titles. KD led the playoffs in scoring 5 times. Kobe led it 3 times. Kobe averaged 25 points a game on 54% true shooting in the playoffs for his career. KD averaged 30 points on 60% true shooting. Again, much higher average on much better efficiency and much better relative to era. Kobe had 17 playoff series. He averaged less than 25. KD had 2. KD has 4 scoring titles. Kobe has 2. But on Kobe's 2 titles, they came from volume and necessity. KD's came with efficiency and dominance. Kobe put up 27 shots a game to get those 35 points. So, yeah, you're going to get more points when you shoot the ball more. KD has never shot it more than 21 times, let alone 27. And he's only got 3 seasons he ever shot at 20 shots a game. He's got more scoring titles than he's got seasons where he took 20 shots. Kobe shot over 20 shots 13 years. During Kobe's 2 scoring titles, he averaged 43 wins and he won 0 playoff series. During KD's 4 scoring titles, he averaged 53 wins, 7 series victories. He got 2 Western Conference finals and an NBA final. So, yeah, I mean, KD just has physical gifts that Kobe doesn't have, and you can't blame him for that. We don't say Muggsy Bogues is one of the best scorers because he's 5'3". Style points don't count.
Again, you're being disingenuous. When Kevin Durant won those scoring titles, he had a guy in Russell Westbrook. Do you know who he is? In that finals in 2012, he had 26 points per game. Kobe's scoring titles, the man had Smush Parker as his running mate. And what's wrong with shot attempts? Wouldn't you want your best scorer to, I don't know, shoot the damn ball? And you keep bringing up efficiency. I want you to bring up the actual efficiency numbers because I've looked at them. Again, mid-range efficiency, it's pretty close. Around the rim, it's pretty close. They all go to Kevin Durant. But again, Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall, so I expect a 7 foot tall forward to have better efficiency from 0 to 20 feet. When Kobe Bryant is 6'6" and shooting tougher shots. Yes, he's better from 3, but I think Kobe's the more aggressive scorer. Again, I want my best scorer to be aggressive. There's spots where Kevin Durant is just kind of floating around there and not shooting. Where Kobe Bryant, I know I'm going to get squeezed every single point out of Kobe. He's got better footwork from scoring from the post. Yes, again, Kevin Durant's a better 3-point shooter, but Kobe Bryant is a better bag as far as getting to the rim. You can bring him efficiency again, but you're comparing a 7 foot forward to a 6'6" guard. At the end of the day, you're bringing up the career points per game numbers. I still think you're being disingenuous because it includes when Kobe was 18 off the bench and when Kobe was like 37 with a popped Achilles. But let's look, when you look at the peak, Kobe Bryant's peak numbers are better. Again, I am 35 points per game. I am scoring 81 points. You do not have a 60-point game, and you're trying to tell me you are the better scorer.
All right. You guys put on a hell of a performance in that first topic. Go ahead and run the polls. Topic 2, we got what's more valuable, on-ball defense or off-ball defense? Let's get into it. Pirates, you started the first round off, or the first topic off. So Casual, it's on you to kick things off. Talk to us.
He's probably going to spend his first round talking about how we play off ball a largely percent more time than on ball. But let me say this. The game of basketball is won on the scoreboard. Which team has more points than their opponent? Well, what's a way did you score more points than your opponent? Prevent your opponent from scoring more points. How do you score points in basketball? Ball and basket. So with all that being said, maybe, just maybe, the guy with the most responsibility on defense is the one guarding the damn ball. To me, on ball is more valuable because it's harder. It takes more athleticism. It takes more stamina. It takes more energy. You're at the mercy of the ball handler. This guy can put the ball in the basket, and you need to stay in front of him, or else he is going to put it in the basket. You have more rules against you as far as blocking fouls, hand checking, and all this tic-tac stuff. To me, when you play basketball, who do you put your best athlete on? The perimeter creator. Because you know he has the best opportunity to stopping him. Because you know it's most important to stop the guy with the ball. Your best athlete goes on that guy on the perimeter. Some of the best defensive players ever, not at the rim, are known as clamp gods. What does it mean to be a clamp god? I'm in front of you on an island. You're not moving. To me, on-ball defense is more valuable because it's harder and you're guarding the ball, which it takes to score.
Let's go, Pirate. Talk to us.
All right. Yeah, I'd say off-ball defense is definitely more valuable because of the basic geometry and rules of the game dictate that the basketball will always be a game of movement in space. Therefore, defense will always be predicated on controlling that movement in space. Those goals are primarily achieved via off-ball defense. One guy has the ball, 4 guys don't. Evidence in both the most impactful individual defenders and also the most impactful team defenses all control off-ball movement in space. Let's look at the movement. Teams average 300 passes in a game. The ball is passed from player to player far more than other sports. Simply locking down the ball handler doesn't end anything in basketball because good teams are looking for the pass. When you start watching basketball, you hyperfixate on the ball handler. Then you realize that most of the game is happening off ball. One guy has the ball, 4 guys don't. Basketball is about the next pass, the next cut, and stopping the next pass and the next cut. Creating easy buckets is the name of the game. Most made shots are assisted in the NBA. Assisted shots are much more efficient than unassisted shots. They're between 5 to 8% more efficient depending on where on the floor. And these assisted shots are created through motion, back cuts, rolls, spot ups, mostly what's taking place off ball. Steals in the passing lane, controlling the paint, impeding motion to the paint, rotations, help defense, flying out to open shooters. These are all things that rack up stops and actually win games. So yeah, the off ball is where the action happens in basketball.
Round 2. Let's do it.
Well, I think action happens most on the ball because, well, where does the action happen? When the guy has the ball in his hands. Now, people can move off the ball, but not every basketball team and player is running around like Steph Curry. There's going to be times where you're guarding a guy who's sitting on the corner. You get a break because he is not moving. So to me, again, I always say this. When we talk about what's greater, what's better, what's more valuable, we have to talk about the greater, more valuable moments, and that's the playoffs. And in a 7-game series where matchups are the most important, one of the absolute best matchups a team could have as an advantage is I got a guy for your guy. I got a guy that at the top of the key, I can lock your guy down and slow him down from getting to the basket and getting his shot off. That's the most important matchup. I got an OG Anunoby for you. I got a Drew Holiday for you. I got a Kawhi Leonard for you. That's the most important basketball matchup in defense in the playoffs. Because if you don't, I'm going to hunt you down, Pirate. I'm going to play one-on-one. You keep talking about all those passes. Why do you make the pass? For the best one-on-one advantage. I'm going to hunt your weak defender, and you can't do anything about it. Bad on-ball defenders, it's so valuable because if you're so bad on-ball in the playoffs, you get yanked from the game. How many bad off-ball defenders are just getting yanked from playoff games? I can name you a ton off the top of my head who are just so bad one-on-one they get yanked from the fourth quarter in the playoffs because they can't stay in front of somebody. Why a lot of off-ball and backdoor cuts happen? Because that guy could not stay in front of his man on the ball.
Back to you, Pirate.
Yeah, talk about motion passing because that's the key to success in basketball. History is riddled with teams that once they advance their passing in motion, they won the championships. From Wilt to Jordan's Bulls to the Spurs to the Warriors, going from the least passes to the most passes and winning a championship. Stopping that is what stops a good offense. So let's look at space. And it's not point of attack defenders that are leading charges to the finals. It's guys who control the paint. The space around the basket will always be more valuable than any other spot on the floor. The vast majority of Defensive Player of the Year winners and candidates are those who control the space around the basket. Just look at Wemby this last year. He's a perfect example. His on-ball defense was subpar. But the sheer fact that a big man's ability to protect the area around the basket, to rotate, to help is so valuable, he comes in second in Defensive Player of the Year. And it's the same with most Defensive Players of the Year. It's usually not going to an elite point of attack guy. It's usually going to go to a big guy who controls the area around the paint. Outside of the paint, what's the most efficient shot? It's the corner three. And 90% of corner threes are assisted. They aren't defended by locking up the guy in the corner. The best defenses that slow down the corner three are those that protect the paint and are able to rotate and swing out. The best defense is what stops the best offense. And time again, the best offenses are built on passing the ball and exploiting the paint. Isolation ball does not win championships. Therefore, that defense.
Again, I try to say it last round with this passing thing. You know how those pass out to the corners happen with all your stats is the most assisted shot in the NBA? By breaking down the point of attack defender. If that point of attack defender stays strong, that shot's irrelevant. You talk about the rim protection. If there's point of attack, he ain't getting to the rim. Okay? When you're running a fast break, what do they say? They don't say, stop the corner. They say, stop the ball. Meet that guy. Get in his way. To me, as a LeBron guy, I watch the Lakers. They have this guy named Anthony Davis. One of the best, if not the best, rim protector in the game. They still got cooked defensively by the Denver Nuggets. Why? Because they couldn't stay in front of Jamal Murray. They couldn't have a guy one-on-one better on the box against Nikola Jokic. But Reeves, D'Lo couldn't stay in front of Jamal Murray. Why were the Celtics so effective against Luke and Kyrie? Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They're good off-ball defenders too, but they can meet Luka and Kyrie right there, not let him get to a spot and push him uncomfortable. And to me, when I'm in the playoffs, the most valuable position, I want the best point of attack defender to slow down their best player. Because if I slow down your best player, I have the best chance to win a basketball game if I slow down your best player because he's responsible for your most points. So if I'm out in front of him and stopping him from getting his shot, no passes.
Back on you, Pirate.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that isolation shots are typically, they're going to be 8 to 10% at least less efficient than passes, shots off a pass. So, like, frankly, you're better off having a guy shooting up isolation shots against a bad on-ball defender than giving up open looks to the basket. So now let's think about a little bit of physics here, all right? Distance from the ball increases a defender's defensive radius. When you're defending the ball, your defensive radius is essentially just your wingspan. All right, a defender that is a half-second pass away from the ball has essentially over twice the defensive radius space that he can cover than the guy who's on the ball, and that manifests itself in a lot of the most productive ways in basketball. Look at steals. Around 70% of steals come off ball. They come from the passing lane and off-ball steals, and you have a greater chance of scoring on those steals because the defender is often towards the basket. half the blocks come from help defenders. And especially in this era where we're playing more.
Yo, Pirate.
Yeah.
You chimed out for like the last 20 seconds.
Oh, did I really? Damn.
Yeah. So we didn't get the last 20 seconds of that round, but we do have to run the polls. We have one more topic in this battle. Once again, this is the last battle of the day. There will be no chill in OG the Beast next, but we will treat this as the best battle of the day right now. In our last topic, we have which Mike D'Antoni offense was more high-powered? The 2007 Suns versus the 2018 Rockets. It's back on you, Pirate. Your time will start whenever you start.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the Suns were much more high-powered offense, putting up a historic offense that was much more explosive relative to their era. They were also much more well-rounded and fundamentally sound. In a fairly defensive league with multiple teams that were putting up defensive ratings below 100, the Suns came out and broke the offensive record with 114. And they didn't just lead the league in offense by a little bit. They were leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. So let's be clear on that difference, all right? Yes, both the Suns and the Rockets had the number one offense for their respective years. But the gap between the Suns and the number two offense that year was massive. The Rockets had 5 other teams within the margin that the Suns separated themselves from the entire league on offense. The Suns were almost 8 points above league average on offense, offensive rating, which the Rockets simply can't claim to do. Clearly, the Rockets had a high-powered offense in a year that high-powered offenses were a dime a dozen. The Suns were just as explosive in a league not conducive to offense. We have to remember there were very different rules in play. In 2011, the restricted area was enlarged, making it more difficult to block shots and protect the paint. Hand checking was restricted in 2013. In 2015, the clear path foul was clarified to make it easier to draw fouls. So, yeah, despite these defensive challenges, the Suns had an offense years ahead of their time. They dominated a much more defensive league and were obviously designed to be.
It's on you, Casual. Sorry, Pirate. Your time is up. Round 1, Casual, talk to us.
This is a funny debate because they both had the same head coach, but I think the Rockets were the more high-powered offense because in D'Antoni's second go-around, he understood best way to win games is to not only push the pace like the 7 seconds or less Suns, but jack up every single three you can. They were the Suns on steroids. Pyro loves efficiency. He already told you about it. Yeah, the Suns were ahead of your time, but just because you're ahead of your time doesn't mean you're actually better. Yes, the Suns did lead the league in field goal, three-point, free throw, assist, and offensive rating. But when you look at the Rockets, 42 threes attempted in a game. To the Suns, 24. 42 threes games. I'm shooting 20 more threes than you. I'm shooting you off the court, and you can't do anything about it. 40% of my points are coming from threes. By the way, you want to talk about efficiency, both teams had the same true shooting, but whatever. The Rockets had a 65-17 record. That's first in a conference. First in a conference, by the way, with the most talented team ever, the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, a team that won 73 games 2 years before. The Suns, as great as their offense was, they were just second in the West. The Rockets had 6 double-digit scores in total. Their lead man scored 30 points per game. They had 2 other guys score 18 points per game, whereas the Suns only had 5 double-digit scores. Their lead guy had 10 less than the Rockets' lead guy. And when you talk about lead guy, James Harden was the MVP of the league. He averaged more combined points and assists than Steve Nash. I don't think this is close.
Back to you, Pirate. Round 2. Hold on, Pirate.
You're not talking.
Start back over. Start back over. You were muted. Your time starts.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah. Casual is bringing up record, which factors in defense. We are not talking about defense or overall team. We're talking about strictly offense. Strictly offense. And the Suns were lights out from 3. They shot over 40% from three while leading the league in attempts. It seems quite clear the Suns offense not only crushed the more defensive 2007, but were perfectly suited for later years. The Suns and the Rockets actually had an identical true shooting of 59%, but the Suns did it in a league that averaged only 54%. The Suns blew away the league in true shooting. They were number one by far. The Rockets didn't even lead the league in true shooting their year. So the Suns were clearly more explosive relative to era and the rules they played under. But I think it's also clear they were a much more fundamentally sound offense that would be far more likely to transfer into 2018 than the Rockets would be to transfer into 2007. The Suns were much more well-balanced. They had more top-end players, more diverse offense. They spread the ball. They were less reliant on referees. The Rockets were pretty close to a one-man show on offense. As Harden goes, so the Rockets go. But with the Suns, Nash led the charge, but Amari, Marion, and the supporting cast made a much more diverse threat. The Rockets were very dependent on the refs and fouls calls, to be clear. While the Rockets were third in free throw attempts, the Suns were 30th. The Suns put up all those points without looking to the refs at all. Where the Rockets, let's be honest, Harden crying to the refs was a big factor. And history has shown that there's some temporary exploitation of the rules at play there that doesn't translate like a record.
Dude, I'm about to lose this debate because everyone's eating up what he says. All he's doing is lie, not listening to what I said. You said they were deeper and more balanced than the Rockets. I just told you the Rockets had more double-digit scores than the Suns, so that's a lie. You said they're one-man show. That's also a lie because they had two 18-point-per-game scores. The Suns did as well, but it's more impressive that the Rockets had two 18-point-per-game scores because their top guy had 30 points, more points, rebounds combined than Steve Nash did that year, by the way. And it's like, bro, and you always bring up, I love when you do this. You bring up relative to era. Do you ever take into account volume? They shot 20 more damn threes than them. Do you ever take into account more volume? And when we talk about this Rockets offense, this is a Rockets offense that was designed, the best offense we've ever seen, that nearly outplayed the most talented offense in NBA history. Chris Paul doesn't go down. They damn sure go win that NBA championship. I think this Rockets team, now some of that has to do with defense, but this Rockets team was built to win a title. Whereas the Suns team, you can't say that because in 2007, they didn't get out the second round. Yes, they missed Amari Stoudemire for a game, but it was a 2-2 series. Who knows? The Rockets were 3-2. And by the way, you want to talk about the lead guy, you want to go ask the coach. James Harden's better than Steve Nash. Go ask the coach. You know what Mike D'Antoni said? That James Harden is the best playmaker you ever seen. So my lead guy not only can pass like you, but he can rack up the more scoring. He's just going to create more advantages.
All right, round 3. Let's do it, Pirate. Bring us home.
I mean, maybe you just weren't old enough to watch the Suns in 07, but having more guys who average 11 points doesn't make up for the fact that spread between Nash and Marion and Amari, that's more high-tiered talent on the Suns. And yeah, they shot 40% from three, putting up 24 in 07. Anyone who knows the game knows that if they were playing in 2018 under those rules, the Suns were ideally suited to put up more threes and at a much higher clip than the Rockets. Now, the fact is, this reliance on threes you got for the Rockets, that's an Achilles heel. All right, the Rockets also had an exceptionally high dependence on the highly streaky three-point shooting shot. More than half of the Rocket shots were three-pointers, and they weren't crazy accurate. They only shot 36% as a team. That's a highly volatile recipe. And we all saw the results when they missed 923 straight threes in an elimination game. All right. The Suns, on the other hand, were excellent from three at 40%, but they also had a great inside presence with Amari. They had the pick and roll. They had middies. They just had a much more well-rounded, less volatile offense. The Suns passed the ball. They were number 1 in assists. The Rockets didn't. The Rockets were 26th in assists. So all told, the Suns were just a more balanced, less predictable, more reliable offense that crushed a vastly more defensive league in ways that the Rockets didn't. The Rockets fit in to 2018 with quite a few teams that were at the same level. The Suns completely destroyed the record books.
Dude, again, you say the same points for 4 minutes. All you do is lie. I just told you that the Rockets had more scores. So how the hell are their Suns deeper? And by the way, How are they deeper when the Suns did not have a secondary ball handler? The biggest advantage to the Rockets is they had a secondary ball handler to run the offense if Harden took nights off. That's the whole point why they brought in CP3, a 19-8 guy. Who was the secondary ball handler and facilitator for the Suns? Let me know. By the way, how are they better suited for this offense when their second best player and their leading scorer couldn't shoot a three? Tell me. How are they better suited for this day and age? That Suns team is not shooting 43s a game. Again, all you're doing is lying, and tell me that this team is deeper. And with this efficiency stuff I told you, at the end of the day, the same true shooting. And I'm shooting at a much higher volume. Of course, my efficiency is going to be a little deeper because I'm shooting 20 more threes than you. They were not built for this era because they were not deeper. My first, second, third best player can all shoot 10 to 15 threes a night. Your guys can't. So what are we talking about? And again, my offensive rating's a little bit higher than yours. It's 115, 114. Again, adjusted for error, it's a little different. But I'm shooting 20 more threes than you. I'm your offense. I'm your pace. I'm running the same speed as you, and yet I'm putting up 20 more threes. And this is threes or better than twos. So if I'm shooting this many threes, I'm producing more points, and I'm running at a bit of faster pace. I am the better offense. I have the better lead man. I have the better two-man, and so on.
All right, y'all. That was fun, wasn't it? All right, y'all. The votes are in from the chat, the live votes, and from our judges as well. So here's what it looks like. Round one, that topic was the better overall score, KD versus Kobe. With the 3-0 sweep, Pirates are taking that one home. Topic two, which is more valuable, on-ball defense or off-ball defense? With a 2-1 lead, Pirate, you are taking home that round. And last but not least, which Mike D'Antoni offense was more high-powered, the 07 Suns or the 18 Rockets with a 2-1 lead? In the sweep today, Pirate, you are still in contention to take this belt home.
And just to reiterate, like, honestly, I think Casual, I think myself, I was screwed, but I think Casual was screwed out of it. I believe he is most definitely one of the better debaters in this field. And yeah, that was a good debate, man. That was really my funnest one of the PCL so far. So absolutely.
Yo, I think Pirate got the edge I think Pirate got the edge, but I got swept. Damn. Like, yo, swept judges. Damn. Did I not make a point?
The chat went with Harden and the Rockets. They went with the fat suit. They went with the Trillburgers. Come on, man.
I lost to the Suns. I couldn't get the third round, dude. That's wow. That's terrible. I'm not saying I should have won the whole thing, but dude, give me a round. Like, that's bad.
I think it was a sweep, but I think I honestly think it was one of those ones where it was like, hovering. I don't think I blew him out at all. I think it was like a small margin type.
I'll take the L.
That was a great debate, man. You're a great debater. I didn't appreciate being called a liar. I don't appreciate being called a liar, but I understand.
You did lie, though. You did lie.
I didn't lie. These are perceptions, man. Everything I stated is
subjective. It's subjective.
Yeah, I didn't state any numbers or facts that don't exist. But it's perception. It's perception.
Now, the Pirates are tough, bro. Pirate is tough.
All right, y'all. Well, appreciate you guys for coming through. Pirate, we will see you next week. Casual, hopefully we'll see you soon on the panel, my man.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you guys even inviting me to this whole thing too.
Oh yeah, for sure. You earned it, and maybe we'll see you in PCL season 2.
See.
All right, fellas. Yo, Pirate.
Hey, Ron.
What's up,
Ron? I traded in the McDonald's Wi-Fi for the Trap House Wi-Fi. Now it's on. Yeah, it's fucking on.
Hey, y'all in trouble now. Y'all in trouble. All right, Pirate. Dub me fish. It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way.
Joint way,